Alpha Strike versus, I was going to say classic Battletech, but I think we're just calling it Battletech these days. Alpha Strike versus Battletech. Exploring the feeling of both games and asking the question, if you're a new Battletech enthusiast, you've seen the miniatures, you're ready to jump in. We've got some new Alpha Strike releases slated to be coming very, very soon. Do you jump in with one or the other, or possibly both, as a way to justify the use of even more miniatures in your collection? So, condensing the history of Battletech, we've got this thing, Battletech. It is a detailed and involved game. There's some bookkeeping, there's some management, there's things to navigate. The core rules are very straightforward once you get over that learning curve, and utilizing the total warfare, you can scale things up pretty quickly. What I mean by that is you could take a lance, because mechs are king, add in tanks, add in artillery, add in optional rules, add in weather effect, jump over to city fight, city tech, and now structures, you can destroy them and they interact. We can get really complicated or very, very straightforward. But either way, Battletech being an involved game and based on the rules and how they operate, simulating this intense damage, the intense damage that these mechs can take, and the crunchiness of combat, and that's what we're going to come back to, the game can possibly take a while. And of course, being a miniature-based war game and wanting to jump in, never have enough battle value for all your toys or C-bills or tonnage, whatever you're using to match up the games. You want to play bigger games. And I've played some very big Battletech games that have lasted all day or have played over the course of 2 days, like a Friday and a Saturday or a Saturday and a Sunday. So what we saw kind of coming out of Battletech was this idea, Alpha Strike. Alpha Strike taking the Battletech narrative and condensing it down to a fast play tabletop game. And I don't say that from a negative perspective. It's the same narrative. It's the same mechs. There are similar tactics, but it's streamlined and it plays very, very simple. Now, from that perspective, it's not really a question of, in my mind, one over the other. It's what are we trying to do? The idea behind Alpha Strike was to make it more approachable to the casual tabletop players, but to be able to play a quick game. We've got 40 minutes to play for whatever reason. We've got an hour to play a quick game, or scale up and play a bigger game in a manageable amount of time. So for me, the primary differences between the two is in Battletech, you've got these mechs that take tremendous amounts of damage. You've got your tech sheet, you're filling out your bubbles, you're crossing off internal damage, you're navigating that. This idea that your mech can get its arm blown off, it can get damage to the legs, it can take sensor hits, it can take engine hits. There's moving pieces of the mech that can get damaged or destroyed, decreasing its capacity and changing how it operates on the table. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of exciting. But there's bookkeeping involved in that. Alpha Strike takes that idea and streamlines it. You can take this many hits. You operate from this level. You have this basic attack profile. And it condenses it down one pipeline. You take some hits, but it's more like a quick play tabletop miniature game. You have to imagine those hits in your mind. Now, from that perspective, where do I stand on both games? I play both. I utilize both. We've got these miniatures in Battletech, right? We've got the miniatures. I've always felt, let's take our collection or your collection, both of our collections together, and get the most out of it. And I've always said, take your miniatures, play Alpha Strike, play Battletech, jump into different eras. So you got your miniatures. Is it Star League? Is it Inner Sphere? Is it Clan Invasions? Is it after the Clan Invasions when tech has been restored? Just taking something like a Stalker miniature, you play that in different time periods with different upgrades and possibilities. It's a absolutely different game. So you could navigate your Battletech. You could also navigate your Alpha Strike. So absolutely, I would encourage explore Alpha Strike. in terms of personally playing it, a number of years ago, we would play Alpha Strike. I would play Alpha Strike as an idea after the main event. And what I mean by the main event is maybe we're playing, I was going to say classic Battletech. We're playing Battletech. I'm kind of glad they got rid of the classic name because classic implies like it's old and it's not that great. I mean, there's not many things that I want classic. Like I want the new, the best. So just having Battletech and pushing it all under that. But we would play Battletech, and then based on how things played out, maybe we have an hour before the shop closes. Well, we can't really start another game, so let's play some Alpha Strike. Or there'd be some times where I'd be going to the club to play a different type of game, maybe 40K or some board games. I'd bring along my Battletech stuff just in case. You never know when a random game of Battletech is going to break out. And with the audience or the time, we only have like an hour or it's a small group, let's jump into Alpha Strike. So I initially used it as a way to supplement my Battletech experience. These days, I don't play as much of it as I used to because the focus is primary Battletech. What I've noticed is if I have an hour to play a game, could I do Battletech in 30 minutes? I don't think so. But Battletech within an hour, if I'm willing to scale down, and I say willing because, again, like I want 2 lances, I want about 15, 20 tanks, I want multiple stands of infantry, I want warriors and Karnoffs, I want some artillery. Like I want to have a big game. But you can, and there's nothing wrong, you could play Battletech 3 mechs. You could play Battletech 3 mechs, 2 mechs, and a couple of tanks. A small kind of, I was going to say like combat patrol-esque game. You can play that within an hour. You can resolve that. Even if the game doesn't finish after an hour, you could kind of step back and be like, well, we can kind of see where this is going. So I found playing Alpha Strike for a quick game, I can get the same thing with the crunchiness of the regular rules, just scale down. So that for me, that's the primary difference between the two and where they kind of occupy my time. But if you're new to Battletech or you're exploring Alpha Strike or you're exploring the Battletech narrative, don't pick one or the other. Pick both. See what you feel like, jump in with one, and then be open to the other and scale that and play that as you can, as the opportunity presents itself. Because look, you've got the miniatures. Let's play them. Let's get the most out of our Battletech experience, the miniatures, and the narrative.